परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्न अनन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्येकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे। सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वः सुखमवाप्नोतु सर्वः सर्वत्र नन्दतु। So yesterday I mentioned several things and I didn't exactly connect them. So today we will rewind a little and we will see how things connect. So leisure is generally understood as a freedom from work, a freedom from some chore you have to do. This is how it's normally understood as. Do we or do we not have a value for it? If I ask you all, what do we value in a working life? What do we value in our life? Do we value what we do every day, or do we look for something where we get a break? If we are working, we want a break. If you are a housewife, you also want a break. If you are a mother also, you'll want a break. Anything we are doing, if the word holiday comes, what is it? What is the response of a school child to a holiday? Do you like holidays or do you like school days? What do people like? Holiday. Do you like summer vacation or do you like beginning after summer vacation? Generally. Suppose you're working, what do you look forward to? A vacation. And in that vacation, what do you look forward to? Do you just want a vacation? You want to sit at home? Or do you want to do something more? See, a few weeks ago, Indigo had a major crisis. So many flights were affected. What happened at that time? A lot of people's holiday plans got upset. December, this Christmas to New Year, everybody is traveling everywhere. Why? So, do we want leisure for the sake of leisure? Or do you want leisure for something else? Do you want a holiday from your school or work for some reason? Or just a holiday for itself? What is it that I really want a vacation from? Why do I want time off from what I do? My whole value system, general society, I'm saying value system seems to be, every day I do something and I want a break from it. If you want a break, why do you take a job to start with? Why don't you take a break for good? No, but then I have to go to Bali and Thailand for my vacation. That's the right vacation. So I have to afford that vacation too. So what should I do? I work so that I can afford a good break. I work all my life so that I can have a good retirement plan. So how do you decide when to retire? How many crores do you have? Nowadays, earlier it was the days of lakhs. Now it is all a matter of how many crores do you have. How can I sustain a lifestyle? Again, the point is, I'm saying, if you look at the very basis for our choosing, if leisure is what we are interested in, then work is just a matter of need. I don't want a work. I don't want to work. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do anything. What do I want to do? Do I just want to travel? What do I need to travel for? Suppose I decided I will go to a, some country. What do I expect to gain by going there? What do I expect to gain doing anything in life? I picked up leisure because, in general, in our whole life, we are all looking for some leisure or another. And to me, I'm saying, why am I using the title Inner Leisure? So that we understand what we are really looking for. Is it leisure or something that you're going to gain in leisure? It's not just about activity. Why do we do anything in life? What's our activity driven by? What's the purpose? Is there a purpose to life itself? Or is there none? Is it just a series of disparate activities which we just go through? Or is there a purpose to life itself? When would you say your life is successful? Do you have a definition for that? Do we think we are successful based on some criteria? Does the word success in life make sense to us? Suppose you've done very well financially and your family life is in doldrums. 2 marriages are broken. Would you call yourself successful? Suppose your family is wonderful and you don't have a job. Would you call that successful? Are there other things other than this? You have a job, but you didn't get a promotion for the last 5 years. Would you call that successful? You met with an accident. You survived. Is that success? You went to the hospital. You went to ICU. And somehow you came back. Is that success? What is success? What is the meaning of success? What is the goal of life? Is there a goal of life or is there no goal to life? Or are we just looking for some idea? So what I want you to see is that, are we looking for leisure? Are we looking for wealth? Are we looking for pleasant situations? What are we looking for in life? What will make us feel fulfilled? What will make us feel okay? Because if our life doesn't have a goal, how do you choose? How do you make your choices in life? How do you choose what you want? So, if I have a basis to choose, then alone I can choose. And as human beings, what do we all of us want? Put differently, what would you ask for? You want to be happy or unhappy? What would you want to do in life? You want to be happy. When do you want to be happy? Only when you're in school or when you graduated from school? You want to be happy at home or outside home? Where do you want to be happy? I want to be happy at both places. When do you want to be happy? Now or later? So, you want to be happy now and later, correct? Where do you want to be happy? Any one place? No. Relating to whom do you want to be happy? Only relating to your mother, to your father, to your siblings? To whom? Relating to the country? Relating to your job? Relating to career? Your education? What do you want to relate to and be happy? Is there one area you want to be happy with? Or would you like to be happy all the time? And if you want to be happy all the time, at all places, relating to everything, do we understand the implication of that? It means happiness should not depend on time. Should not depend on place. Should not depend on time means it should not depend on my age. It should not depend on my stage of life. It should not depend on weather. Time. Time means even, cold or hot weather. Not depending on a place means it should not depend whether you're here, whether you're overseas. If it shouldn't depend on what you relate with, it shouldn't depend on your job. It shouldn't depend on your upbringing. It shouldn't depend on your professional qualifications. Shouldn't depend on what school you went to. Shouldn't depend on which family you were born into. If we ask anybody, what's your resume? Introduce yourself. How do we introduce ourselves? Suppose you called somebody to introduce. How would they introduce themselves? I would say, how would I introduce myself? I am a disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda. Why? I am an unknown quantity. But Swami Dayananda is well known. No teacher like him. And therefore, what will I gain? By saying I'm a student of Dayananda, you know there's somebody here who you can relate with. Correct? Suppose you want some doors to open. You're caught up in some difficult situation. What do people say? My uncle is a police commissioner. You drop names. For what? Because connected to them, you are somebody. Connected to nobody, who are you? So otherwise I will say, where I went to school? I studied in Harvard Business School. Sounds good. Or I went to AIIMS and I did medicine there. Sounds good. In anything you want to connect yourself to something which makes sense. Why? What is it that you really want? If you want to be happy all the time, all the place, relating to everything, it means that your comfort must depend on none of these. It means that you must be comfortable just being yourself for no reason. For no reason can you be happy? Or can you not? If I ask, why are you happy? Do you have a reason? Why are you sad? We always have a reason. If I ask you, why are you happy? Do you have to have a reason for it? If you have to have a reason, which means you have to work for your happiness. Inner leisure is just another word for the same thing. Inner leisure means whatever it takes for you to feel at home with yourself. To feel at home means you're comfortable being yourself. Comfortable being yourself when challenged and when you're not challenged. When everything is going as you like it, everybody is comfortable. Who is not? So whatever education you want, you got. Parentage the way you wanted, you have it. You found a partner in life who is exactly who you want in life. Your job gives you enough income and more than what you want. Everybody is kind to you. Where's the problem? But that's not how life works. Life seems to work in its own way. So, how do you keep yourself in good humor in and through thick and thin? That is what is meant by inner leisure. To be able to be at ease at all times. Even we have been successful in various other ways, professionally successful, economically successful. As we age, what happens? Aging is not something in my hand. Once we are born, aging is given. Growing old is given. As we grow old, faculties loosen. We lose the faculty of hearing sometimes, lose the faculty of weakening faculty of sight. Limbs go limp. Sometimes you lose some functionality. Teeth are going, hearing is going, eyes are going. As Swamiji would say, old person has to, how should he come out? He has to assemble himself. Assemble glasses, assemble teeth, assemble hearing aid. So many assemblies have to happen just for the person to come out. At that time, if you ask a person, how are you? What does he tell you? He tells you about his past glory. I was like this. This is how I used to live. Now look at me. Look at this. I'm not independent. I have to listen to everybody at home. Daughter-in-law makes demands. Son makes demands. Nobody cares for me. I am unwanted. I wish I went away. All these will come or not? Not everybody, but I'm saying it's not uncommon. So, have I grown or have I just aged? aging, we don't have to do anything. We have to do nothing to become old, do we? Do you have to work to get gray hair? No. Do you have to work to become bald? No. But your muscles are, are going away. Sarcopenia is happening. Do you have to do something? You have to carry some load. You have to do some work so your muscles are kept, alive. You have to do some work. Suppose you want to let water just flow down. Do you have to do anything? River just goes down the slope. Suppose you want the water to go up. What do you need? You need to pump it up. You need extra work. So, if we just see an animal can just live its life, does it have to do anything? If it survives, it grows. If it continues to survive, it becomes an adult. If it continues to survive, it gives birth to progeny. If it continues to survive, it has more progeny. Life is over. One day it passes away. Does it care? Is the animal successful or failed? You may say it failed, but the animal is happy being itself. Are we happy being ourselves? If we are happy, then leisure should be all you need. You don't need to do anything to be okay. But we always want to be different from what we are. That's the human lot. Wanting to be different from what I am is my norm. It's not something which is occasional. Occasionally, I find myself at ease. Occasionally, I find myself not wanting for anything to be different. And that's the person I want to be. Is that true or not? And how do you land on that person who is having internal leisure, who is comfortable being himself? How often do you land on that person? Do you land on that person by design? Can you make sure you'll always be that happy person? You can do a lot of things, but does it necessarily make you comfortable? But what do we try to do? As a child, as you have a child, what do you want a child to do? You want the child to be independent. You want a child to grow up well. So what's the question? How should he grow up? I feel I am not good enough. Now I want to give my child a better chance. So what should I do? Whatever I missed out in life, I'll try to give the child. That's what I would try to do. But then, that's not everything. Even though I give good education, I try to give education, you can send your child to a school. Whether he studies or not is not entirely in your hand. You can give him a lot of money to start a business, a little grown-up child. Whether he spends the money properly or squanders it is not in your hand. You can set up a gym for your child to become healthier. Whether he will use the gym is not in your hand. What do you have in your hand about your child? It's like bringing up a tree. You water the plant. You build a hedge around it so the goat doesn't get it. But does the tree grow as you want it? Or the tree grows as it grows? If it decides the sun it needs shake, it will bend this way or that way. It goes whichever way it wants. So what's your role in bringing up children? Swamiji, my child is not doing well. I'm a failure. You're not a failure. Can you call yourself a failure based on any one facet of life? This is why I'm saying, is there a goal for life itself? You want a job for what? Why do you want a job? Because I want income. Why do you want an income? So that I can support the family and live well. Why do you want to support the family? It's my responsibility. Why do you think it's a responsibility? Because I got married. Okay? What if you don't carry out responsibility? I won't feel good. Why do you want to feel good? Is there an answer to that? Because I'm not comfortable not feeling good. that space wherein I don't want to be comfortable and I become uncomfortable based on situation in life, means there's a lack of inner leisure. So inner leisure means I can take life as it comes. I can live life as it unfolds without feeling under the weather most of the time. This is what inner leisure is about. So now, how do we try to gain that leisure? How do we try to become people who are happy and comfortable? In a broad scale, if you look at it, everybody has a need to live a life with some security. We need economic security. We would like economic elbow room to be able to buy what we have to buy to fulfill our needs. Whatever the needs are, at every level the needs are different, depending on where we are in life. For somebody, the next meal is security. For somebody else, a second business or a second company is security. But what it is, we don't know. Is an Ambani today saying, I'm satisfied? Is Anand Mahindra satisfied with what they have in terms of economic prosperity? Or are they still wanting to do more? Which industrialist says, I have enough now and will stop further growth? But this is constant activity. Is it security only economic? You have security in terms of social, you need to have to relate with people. You have security in terms of, physical security, whether you're in a safe neighborhood. Security in terms of whether your country is a passport. Which passport is stronger? You will see this now. Which is a good passport? Means which passport will enable you to travel freely? Indian passport, you need visa everywhere. Suppose you had a New Zealand passport, then you can travel freely. So I'm saying security even in terms of citizenship, dual citizenship. Why do I want dual citizenship? So that I can have the best of both worlds. This is at the level of social. Health. How many of us are happy today not having a health insurance? Why do you need health insurance? Because they tell you that if you are not insured, you don't know whether you can pay for your health tomorrow. Health is okay. Is your life insured? LIC, Remember LIC? Yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of you. That's what they promise. Not take care of you. I will take care of your dependents. So you can breathe your last at ease. That's life insurance. So my life is about ensuring so many things. And despite my best attempts, these can fail. This is security needs. If security needs are fulfilled, then what do you want next? You want to have some ego gratification. You want some entertainment. You want to go for a movie. You want to go for a concert. You want to read a book. You just want to enjoy nature someday. Want to go on a mountain hike. Or if it's a religious person, I want to go to Kailash Mansarovar. Or I will want to visit all the Char Dham, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Or you can say, I want to go to Nepal and see, Pashupatinath and come back. A Buddhist person will have his own security. He will go to a different place. Somebody else will say, I have to go for Hajj. But I'm saying, that's again something you want to do. Other than these two, do you have anything else you want to do? In general. So, security pursuits, we call them artha. Artha means security. And a second pursuit, generalized, we call it kama, fulfilling desires. But what are my means to fulfill my security needs and my needs for ego gratification? What do I do? What means do I have? Do we know anything other than action? Karma. I want to do something. I will do this or I will do that so I'll become secure. I will it's all about doing. Is that not true? Suppose I want you, if you come and say, you want to be happy, you can be happy. How can I be happy? What should I do to be happy? What should I do to be comfortable? Is that not our question? So, what is the assumption? Unless I do, I won't be okay. Something I must do. Only question is, what should I do? Right? You choose what you do. You have a choice to choose what you do. Now, whatever you choose to do, there is a series of steps involved. Correct? Even if you just want to cook a meal, cooking is how many things? Is it one activity or multiple activities? No. You have to choose what you will cook. You have to get the vegetables ready. You have to get your rice ready. Whatever you want. I mean, there are so many steps. Within the cooking, you have so many steps. And at any one step, if you goofed up, what will be the output? You were supposed to roast something, it goes black. It doesn't work. Instead of 1 spoon salt, by mistake you added 2. Uneatable. Right? Are you successful in your cooking? You did everything very carefully, but somehow, without thinking, you put 2 spoons of salt. Everything looks good. Only when it tastes, it cannot be eaten. How are you sure you will get the goal you want? Work, what you do, your action is your choice. Is the result in your hand? You study hard. You decided, I want to become somebody. I want to be a medical professional. So you study hard. Will you get a seat? You can write NEET, but whether you make it or you're cut off, we don't know. Right? There's always a cutoff for everything. And that cutoff, will you make it? So if you had the privilege of being called an underprivileged person in the country, suppose you had a tag, of a tribe, scheduled caste, you make it. Suppose you're not. Even if you get 98, you may not make it. What's in your hand? You put all your effort, but can you ensure what you will get is what you wanted? Even if you get the percentage which you want, you go to the right medical school, can you ensure that you will do well in the school? Even if you finish your MBBS, can you ensure you will get your MD seat? Now, anybody who is doing MBBS seems to say without MD there is no future. They always want to do MD. And how many seats are in MD? So the person wants to do radiology. Swamiji, very difficult. We just don't get seat. Radiology is very hard these days, very hard. Surgery is easier, I believe, now. So, at some time surgery was hard, but do you get that? At the end of 12th, you thought, I got a college seat, MBBS, now I'm done, successful. No. When you finish MBBS, you realize you have one more wall to climb now. You finished MD, is that enough? Swamiji, I still don't think I can operate anybody by myself. I don't feel confident. Then what should you do now? Now you take up a job and they will pay you 5,000 rupees to come and work all night. Resident. They give you a nice name and they will make you slog. Does it work out? I'm saying, where is your line of saying when you're okay? How do you ensure that what you wanted is what you will get? And even assuming all this is okay, I met a physician who said, I didn't know. Every day, Swamiji, people only come and cry about something or other. They are always telling me about their sorrows. I'm tired of listening to it. I don't know why I came to medicine. This is the lot after doing all this work. Because a person had some dream and that dream got shattered. Whether it's medicine, whether it's any other career choice, can you be sure your professional choice is going to be satisfactory to you? You make a choice to in a family. You decide I will get, I found this person, I met this person, and I think I like this person, and I think I want to get married to this person. You get married. Does it ensure a happy married life? It doesn't. So how do you ensure anything in life? What is it that you have? What is it that we have in our hand at any point? My freedom lies in my action. My freedom lies in my action. What the outcome is, I don't have the freedom to decide, do I? No. How do you get the outcome for any action? Suppose I drop this. Where will it go? It goes here, right? But suppose there's windy. Where will it go? You don't know which way it will blow, which way the wind blows, right? Any one thing you take, do you decide what the outcome will be? A physician gives you a treatment. Do they tell you ensured outcome? For a complicated case. Diagnosis of the problem first, most important. Do we even know where we diagnosed it right? So, how do you diagnose? Okay, you eliminate. This it is not. This it is not. This it is not. Therefore, and blood report says this. Urine report says this. Therefore, it may be this. Then after 1 week of antibiotics, it doesn't work. Then what do? Then you say, let's do a culture. So we'll find out what is causing the problem. After the culture, what happens? Is it necessarily cured? Now you find out there's something else. Where do you know where it ends? I'm saying, do we have anything wherein your action will ensure an outcome? Are you sure you'll wake up tomorrow morning? You went to sleep. Are you sure you'll wake up tomorrow morning? No. I am walking. Will I take the next step? Do I know? No. We take a lot of things for granted in life. But if you really examine, we don't know what the next second is going to bring us. Then, what can plans do for us in life? We make plans, but how many plans you have to modify? Can you make a plan and stick with it for life? Or do you have to keep on dynamically changing your plan too? If you stick with your plan, it won't work. So every time, what do you have? One budgetary estimate. Then what? Revised estimate. Every time you revise. Why do you revise? Because it keeps changing. So if action is where my freedom lies, and what I depend upon is some particular situation, some particular outcome, how can I relax? How can I enjoy the inner leisure to say, okay, I have done, because my intention, my dependence is not on what I do. What do I want? I want this outcome. I'm sending my son to this school. I'm sending him to Rishi Valley School, whichever school, okay? Some very good school. And I want him to come out well. Whether he comes out well or not, we don't know. No way to know. Child goes to some Cambridge school, very good school. And there in that school, they don't have the standard way of teaching you. They encourage, a way of study, which is more independent, not driven by the rote method normally in our boards. So child did very well till 10th. Then they said, let us see what we can do. 9th, 10th, let us try some other school because they needed different kind of education to make it through the entrance test. What happens? A child says, I can't study here. He says, I can't study here. Why? Because he is not used to that kind of schooling. So parents spent a lot of money sending him to a good school, but that school became a problem because when the person comes out of school, he's not able to fit into the normal Indian schooling system. Success or not? Parent success, child success, where do you go? You have to be able to make a fresh choice. At every point in life, you have to make a choice. And if I'm only looking for an end every time, what is my means I have? My means is action. And action means I have the capacity to do, to not do, or to do differently. This is my choice. But how do I choose? How do I choose? I have to choose based on what I know. What do I know? If all I know is I want some money, then that's what I will go after. If all I know is I want a good school, that's what I will go after. If all I know is I want a vacation every few days, that's what I'll go after. But what do I really want in life? In and through education, in and through work, in and through all my efforts, what do I really want in life? If I don't know that, all my choices may not lead me where I want to go. So if I recognize what I'm really looking for is that inner leisure, then I should know what will give me inner leisure. Is that true or not? So if this is what I'm after, if I'm after being comfortable being myself, then I should know, do I need to do something to be there? And even making my best attempts, I don't necessarily land where I want to. Even though I make my best attempt, my children don't land where I want them to. Even though I took the best precautions, my health is not where I want it to be. Now, if I want to be relaxed, what choice do I have? What choice do I have? To accept situations in life, what do you need? As life unfolds, how do I accept myself? What do I need to be able to accept myself? I need to see that whatever is unfolding in the world outside, is that responsible for my feeling uncomfortable, my branding myself as a failure, or is there something else? Because, we all go to school together as students. One fellow gets 70%. Another fellow gets 90%. And the fellow who gets 70 is very happy. He is very happy because he says, wonderful, I did very well. And the fellow who got 90 is crying. Why? Didn't do well. Percentage, 90 and 70 are objective. What makes a difference for one person to cry and one to be happy? Is the percentage what makes you happy? Or is it your expectation of the percentage that decides whether you're comfortable or not? If it is your expectation, does the world decide whether you want it or you decide what you want to expect? I decide. I want 70. 70 is too much. Why? I had told Dad I will get 60. Very safe bet, You tell Dad I can only get 60. And Dad said, if you get 60, I'm very happy. Now you know. Dad's okay, means he has enough money. I don't want to do more. 60 is good enough. You set expectations. But the other fellow wanted to get some education. So I'm saying, both have a goal in life of what they think they need, but neither of them may be right. Neither of them may be right. So now, whether you got what you not, how do you accept? What do you really have a problem with? Not with the percentage, not with the money you earn, not with the job you have, but your demand that it should be different. Is it a problem of changing the world or your circumstances, or is it learning how to see, how to respond to a given situation in life? Situations I have no control over. Outcome of my actions I have little control over. Then, what do I have any say over in life? Do you have a say over your mind? Can you choose to be happy? Where are you happy? Are you happy here or are you happy outside? Happiness is always centered on me, is it not? It's centered on myself. So, if you want to be happy, what should you do? Can you choose to be happy? Or do you depend on something happening in a given way for you to be happy? If you say it has to happen in a given way, do you stick to it all the way? Suppose you say, I'm very happy if you give me ice cream. How many ice creams will you take? I'll keep giving you ice cream, one after another after another. How many ice creams will you take? 10? After that, what will you say? Enough. Why? Ice cream makes you happy. More ice cream should make you happier. Why not some more? Somebody said, I want a lot of money. He was told, you know what? We'll give you 10 lakh rupees. How much? 1 lakh, we'll give you 10. Only thing is you have to put a board here. I carry 10 lakhs cash and walk on the street. Will he do? Won't do it. So what is it that you really have problem with? Can you decide what you even want? I told you, somebody wanted to become a physician, became a physician, and then regrets all his life why he became a physician. How are you going to address that? So, really, when I'm seeking to be comfortable in life, do I have the ability to see what my mind is and accept my own mind? Do I have that ability? How will I accept my own mind if I already set myself up to think success is this and this is failure? So these are questions, which every one of us has to be aware of. That it is not what we do in life, it is not what we gain in life, but who we are in life that matters, isn't it? I mean, do you want to gain something for the sake of gaining it? Do I want to eat food for the sake of eating it? Or do I want to eat food so that I'm not hungry? Do I want to gain money for the sake of money? Or do I want to be free from the need for more money? Do I want anything in life because for that thing? Or do I just want to be non-demanding in life? At any instance that you're happy, are you having a demand or you're not demanding at that moment in life? Anytime. If you're happy, you examine. Do you want something to be different? You can't be happy. If you're happy, at that moment, you don't want anything in the world to be different. Is that true or no? Because if you want something to be different, you can't be relaxed. You start laughing. Suddenly you remember your teeth are messed up. You close your mouth. Demand came back. You just laughed heartily for a moment. Then remembered, everybody saw my teeth. Now what? You close it. You'll become unhappy immediately. So is there a time, is there any situation where you are happy and you're wanting? No. If you want to be non-wanting, why should you go all around wanting things? There was this rich man who was walking on a beach. He was walking on the beach, and there was a fisherman wearing some, torn clothes, walking along. So the rich man asked him, hey, why are you walking here? No, what should I do? Poor man asked, what should I do? Why don't you go and fish? So why should I fish? What will happen if I fish? If you fish, you'll make some money. Okay. Then what should I do? Then you can buy a better boat. You can catch more fish. Okay. Then what should I do after that? With more money, what will I do? More fish, what will I do? You sell the fish, you'll get more money. Then what should I do? You can buy an even bigger boat and get even more fish. Good. Then what should I do after that with that money? Then you can employ people and have multiple boats to do fishing. You'll get even more money. Wonderful. Then what should I do? You will have so much fish that you can't sell it all, so you can start a fish processing industry. Good. Then you will have so much money, you can live in a palatial house. You can have, BMW cars on all gates. Okay, then what should I do after that? Then you can take a vacation and walk on the beach. So you do all this to walk on the beach. The guy asked, what am I doing right now? Do you understand how we live our life? Do we have to do all this to not to just take a walk on the beach? We don't. But then, this is how we live our life. We are going all around to discover. We think that the happy person is not around. He will only emerge when you fulfill some desires. He will emerge when you met some needs that you set up for yourself. Your own demands. If you examine, why do you like some food? Take a very simple thing. Somebody likes, katrika, somebody doesn't like. Why does somebody like brinjal? Is there a reason for it? Usually we don't have a reason. I liked it last time, I like it this time. You eat 10 more times, you like it. So what? Does it mean that brinjal is a source of happiness? It just means that, you decided to be a source of happiness. That's all it is, really. Most of our likes are like this, not really thought through even. So we set up goals for ourselves, and having set a goal, you say, Swamiji, I'm a failure in life. Why? Because I didn't meet my own expectations of myself. So then, but this is not one person. This is not two people. This is the lot of most of humanity. Why? Because we don't know any better. We don't know any better. And this is where I said yesterday that, if you want to know even what is the goal in life, we don't know. Science can only give you facts. It can tell you what things are about. But science cannot teach you how to live life. A job cannot teach you how to live life. People can teach you sometimes. If they have lived well, you follow them, perhaps. But then, the Veda has something to say. The Veda, when we say the Veda, Veda is a means of knowledge. A means of knowledge means that which will tell you something. It will let you know something. For example, if you want to see what's the color of this flower, what will you know? You need to use your eyes. Is there any other way you can know the color of this flower? Can you know the color with any other means? Close your eyes and tell me the color. You can't. How do you hear sounds? With your ear. Is there any other way to hear the sounds? No. What is the means of knowledge to know what is my reality? What is my being? Why am I where I am? What's the means of knowledge to know that? Is there one life or are there more lives? See, suppose you're choosing your goals in life. Do you assume one life or choose more lives? What do you assume? Suppose you are told you will live only for 7 more days. There was a king Parikshit. He went to a forest hunting, and then he went to a hermitage and he saw a rishi there, and he asked some question. That man didn't respond. The king was upset. He saw a dead snake there and put it on his neck and went away. The son of that rishi came home and saw, who's done this to my father? Who's put a dead snake on my father's neck? And he uttered a curse. What's the curse? The person who has done this to my father will die of snake bite within a week. Within 1 week, he's going to die of a snake bite. Parikshit was a king. And when the father was in deep meditation, he was in samadhi. He woke up and he knew what the son has done. He was very unhappy. He said, the person who is the king of this country, the very dharmic person, he was just out of his mind perhaps. This is not right. But now a curse has been uttered. It's not going to change. So they sent word to the king. Look, your life is now, you have a curse, you have 7 days to live. Parikshit goes to Shuka Maharshi, and says, you know what, I have only 7 days to live. Tell me how I can become free from all problems in life. I want this freedom totally. Shuka laughed. You are so fortunate. 7 days you are guaranteed life. It's a luxury. It's a luxury because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next minute you don't know whether it will wake up or not. You were trying to raise your hand and it fell. So, is anything given? I'm saying 1 week you can't count. 1 minute you can't count. So all our plans are for what? Assuming we will live, we always think COVID will hit the next door neighbor, not me, correct? Whenever there's a problem, we never assume it will hit me. We always think somebody else will get the problem. You look away, it goes away. It doesn't. It can come to me too. Nobody entered, the emergency in a hospital with a plan. And any hospital you go, emergency is always buzzing. It looks like they're very busy. You go there, they'll say you wait. What happened to you? One small hurt, you wait. There are more serious cases here. That's what they will attend to first. What does it show? What is an accident? Accident means not planned for, that's all. But if 2 vehicles are at the same time, at the same place, there will be an accident. That's the law of physics. So the point is, whatever we do, what is the means of knowing, is this only one life or is there another life? How should I choose? How should I choose my goals of life? Suppose you told me I have 1 week more. Perhaps I'll say, like in a person is on a death row in prison. They tell him, what is your last wish? What is your last wish? Because they want to fulfill the last wish. So one fellow says, call the priest. Why? Because in his religion, if he makes a confession, a lot of things will go away. So he says, I want to make a confession. Second fellow says, call my family. I want to have a meal with them. Okay, arrange. Third fellow said, this is not just death row. This is a death row because the fellow has been marked for death by the doctor, not really in a prison. Death row because he has been diagnosed with a disease which he will die. This third fellow said, change my doctor. Because 2 doctors have given up on him. Then at least change my doctor, maybe I will live. So I'm saying, how do you choose? How do you choose what should you do if you don't even know when your life ends? Is there another life or not? In this life, what's the goal? If this body is there, it will pass. It will drop one day. Is there another life? I don't know. Why was I born in this situation? Why was I not born in a family which is more affluent? Why was I not born in a family which is more religious? Why was I not born in Belgium? Why? Why was I born a woman, not a man? Are there answers? Birth we don't know why it happens. What is death? Is it an end? Or is it a new beginning? Do we know? Who is the person who is, this body is born. Body grows, matures, becomes an adult body, ages. Then what? Drops. Who is there in and through this life? Same you? as a young person, as a middle-aged person, as an older person? What makes you think, with the body changing you survived, what makes you think you don't survive? Body is changing. How quickly? Does it change once in a year? Every birthday does it change? How often does the body change? It's growing constantly. How constantly does your mind change? Every moment it is changing. Are you changing or not changing? With this body changing and mind changing, how do you know the body and mind are changing? Are you changing or are you the same person? Have you ever thought of that? If you are the same person, because you are able to say, I celebrated my 6th birthday in this city. When I was 25, I had this celebration. Now at 50, I had this celebration. Who says all this? Different person or same person? Same person. So this same person means there is no aging for you, is there? The body ages. Are you aging? Question. Have you ever looked into it? Am I old or is the body old? If the body is not me, if I have a reality other than the body, how should I choose what should I do in this life? Because I will survive. If I'm going to survive death, what's the basis for my choice? If I don't survive death, what's the basis for my choice? If death is going to be an end, I will have one choice, perhaps. Live happily till you are alive. What you do doesn't matter. You are driving on the road. Do you wear a helmet because it protects you, or do you wear a helmet because a cop will catch you? Do you follow, suppose there's nobody on the road, there's a red light. Do you stop or do you drive through? If you drive through and you get a fine, because there was a camera, next time will you drive through that signal? No. Why? Why? Do you care for safety or do you care to just protect your money? Every choice you make depends on your knowledge. What is your knowledge about yourself? What is your knowledge? Suppose Bhagavan were to come and stand in front of you and say, ask, whatever you want I will give you, ask. What will you ask for? What will you ask for? Will you ask for wealth? Suppose you say, I want to be happy all the time. Bhagavan will say, hey, I can't do anything about that. Because you decided to be unhappy. What makes you unhappy? Bhagavan has given you a mind. Every night you go to sleep. Are you unhappy in sleep? Anybody? Deep sleep. Are you unhappy? Do you wake up in the morning and complain? Oh, I slept very well. I had no suffering, no problem. I need a medicine. Every day I sleep well. Will you go and complain to a doctor? Then doctor will send me to another department. So, we don't complain about that. So, in sleep you're okay. In dream, if you had a nightmare, do you have a problem in the morning? Wake up. What happened when you wake up from the dream? Oh, that was just a dream. You're okay with that. Waker, dreamer, sleeper. Which one of them are you? Are you just the waker? How do you decide? What's your identity? Are you there in dream or not? Do you have any doubt whether you dreamt or somebody else dreamt? Did you sleep or somebody else went to sleep? So if in sleep you don't have a problem, how come you have a problem in waking? What's the difference between waking and sleep? You have a mind. Informed mind. Informed wrongly, perhaps. So this whole question about what is life, what is a human being's life, and why am I born with this mind which is self-judging? Why? Why a dog is happy being a dog, but I can't be happy being myself? I have a pet. I have a pet at home. For what reason? To make me happy. And the pet doesn't need me to be happy. It is happy being itself. Interesting, It's very interesting that the dog has to teach me how I should be happy like it. It doesn't care. It's happy just being itself. And it even goes to obedience school if you tell him, sit, stand. It can do all that. It doesn't care. It just gets its food and it's okay. But the fellow who feeds the dog is unhappy. So why he keeps a dog? Because children are not going to say hello every time when he comes. Wife will run away. Who comes out the door? Dog. Therefore, pets are better than human beings. Modern day, people don't get married, but they will have a pet. Why? Because they need some company. They feel lonely. What is loneliness? What is loneliness? Have you seen sometimes you go to a crowded place, you go to a wedding and you feel lonely. Do you feel lonely? What makes you lonely there? There are so many people. What makes you lonely? You are unable to relate to anybody. So what is loneliness? My inability to relate. What is depression? What is sorrow? What is sorrow? My inability to accept a fact. A fact. Somebody passed away. What can you do about it? Anybody who is born is going to pass away. No, he should not have passed away. I should have passed away first. Do you have a choice? No. If there is one guarantee in life once you are born, what's the guarantee? 100% it will happen. You will die. This body will drop. You will die, different conclusion. You die or body dies, different story. But what's the definite situation? Death is certain. Are we ready for it? Or are we always hoping he will come tomorrow? Come tomorrow. I'm not ready today. If Yama were to ask you, are you ready? How about tomorrow? When are you going to be ready? When will you say, I'm ready to go anytime? Not at your choice. Whenever he comes, you have to go. How should I live life? How should I live life so I can face life? How should I live life wherein I am not afraid of the impending tomorrow? How should I live life so that whatever unfolds in my life, I am comfortable with? If not comfortable, at least not very uncomfortable. That is called inner relation. Just telling you what the topic means. Because otherwise, what is there in this topic? I unnecessarily have come here. Shouldn't feel like, you should understand what we are talking here. It's something which is relevant to every human being. So now, this human being, why is a human being alone self-judging? Why not a dog or a cow? Who decided? Who decided that your brain should be the way it is? See, we hear of this, you know of a cobra, king cobra. It has a venom. What kind of venom? It's considered to be a neurotoxin, right? What does neurotoxin do? It will hit the nervous system of the one that the snake bites. You tell me now, how does this snake's venom, who manufactures the venom in the snake to make sure the nervous system of other animals is impacted? Where is the knowledge in the cobra's head to create a venom which will paralyze its prey by hitting the nervous system? The viper hits the circulatory system. It will cause, bleeding, hemorrhage. How does it cause hemorrhage? How does it know what will cause hemorrhage? And that poison will not be a poison to that snake. Just taking one example to ask you, is the snake just a chance creation? Is snake just happening, or is it designed? Is the cobra, by design a cobra is made, or it's just an accident? Is it an accident that earth has 21% oxygen? Not more, not less. Is it an accident that the temperature in this earth is exactly what allows for human life to survive, or any life to survive? Is it an accident that we need water and there is water outside? Is it an accident that there are sounds and we have ears? There are forms, we have eyes. There is light. Is it an accident? Or is it by design? What do you think? Is this world just an accidental creation, or does it seem to be an intelligent creation? Does this flower look like a mindless activity, or does it look like an intelligent creation? Suppose all these petals are apart. Who can put them together to make a rose? How does it form a rose? How does a rose come? How does a bee know where to find its food? And how does a human being know how to find the bee's hive? Should there be a cause for all this? If I were to tell you, oh, this hibiscus just drops from sky, would you agree with me? It just came, How did you get it? It just comes like this. They just keep dropping. In Gurukulam, we just have a rain of hibiscus flowers. Would you accept that? No. What would you say? Where would a flower come from? From a plant. And the plant, the plant just stands on the ground. It has no root. How about that? Do you ever see a root? Have you seen a root of a tree? Coconut tree is standing. Have you seen its root? No. Therefore, coconut tree must have no root, correct? Should it have a root or not? No. It should have a root. Why? Because there must be a cause for it. You get a sprout. Should there be a cause for it? Yes, there must be a seed. There is a cyclone coming somewhere. Should there be a cause for it? Weatherman will tell you there's a depression coming in the Bay of Bengal. It's moving at this speed. It is expected to make landfall in this place in so many hours. How? There's a cause. Why is there a low pressure somewhere? There's a cause. Why do stars twinkle? The moon doesn't twinkle. Why do stars twinkle? There's a cause. Why does this flower go down and not up? There's a cause. Why are you and me here? Why are we born? Why is there a world? Is there a cause? Yes. Can we make, magnets for our EVs today? Big talk, China has what? All the rare earth magnets they make. Can we make rare earth magnets today, here? Even if you have rare earths, can you make the magnet? What does it take? You need technology. We have lots of sand. Can you make silicon chips? No. What does it require to make anything? It requires knowledge. To make this clock, what do you need? You need to know how to make a clock. You tell me, what is more complex, this clock or this clock? What is more complex? This human body, how complicated it is. Can we make one cell in a laboratory? One single cell? Can you make one electron in a laboratory? What can we make? We know how to use what is already there. But can anybody, if this clock requires intelligence to make, what intelligence does it take to make a flower? What intelligence does it make to make this flower? What is special about this flower? It stays in the water, but is untouched by the water. Where is the knowledge for all this? So, everything in the world is what? If you understand it, it is knowledge. Do you see what I'm trying to say? All that we see is knowledge. And this knowledge of the flower, how do I know? By seeing a flower, I gave it. Because my eyes are there, I can say it's red in color. And I can say it has a proboscis-like thing coming out. And I give it a name, hibiscus. I give it a name. I give another name, rose. What's really there is a form seen by my eyes, smelt by my nose, and it has a name. But how did this form come about? Where is the knowledge for this form? Does the plant have the knowledge to make the rose? Does the seed have the knowledge to make the rose? Who put the knowledge in the seed? The knowledge must exist somewhere. Where does it exist? For all the things in the earth, where does the knowledge exist? And that source of all knowledge and all capacity to manifest this cosmos is what we call the Lord Ishvara. And if we don't know how the whole setup in the universe is, if I don't know why this human body is the way it is, whether it is one life or many lives, how do I make choices without knowing who I really am? Any choice I make is based on my own ignorance of my reality. Is it not true? I don't need to know who I am to make choices, surprisingly. I can make choices without knowing who I am, without knowing what my reality is. But those choices will all be only as good as my assumption about my own reality. I take myself to be a person with a given mind, a given body, with ability to choose, with ability to emote, ability to experience. That's all I know about myself. What else do I know? If this is who I am, then unless I know my own reality, how can I make informed choices in life? Therefore, to gain inner leisure, firstly, even if I have everything in the world, to enjoy it requires a mind which can be informed to enjoy it. That mind is also given in part, but is trained in part. Therefore, to become a person who knows what to do, to be a person who is comfortable being who he is, one has to really know, is my discomfort real or unreal? I set up expectations and say, this is what I call success, this is what I call failure. I set up expectations for things which I don't even know enough about. And then I decide I haven't done well enough. But who can inform me about why this cosmos is the way it is? One life, one living being wouldn't survive on this earth unless there was a sun. The sun is required for life. The air is required for life. This body is required for life. We have a bioenergy tank. We need something we can take bioenergy and convert it into energy to do things. Where is the design for all this? And the one who has designed alone can tell me more about what this whole setup is about. And that designer is Bhagavan. And who makes the world with the design? We don't have a separate person who builds. It's not like an architect and then you have a builder. There is only one one reality, one all-knowing, all-powerful Ishvara, we call him, from whom this whole cosmos has emerged. Unless we understand what this Ishvara is, we are really fumbling and making choices which are very poorly informed. And what is the source of knowledge to know the truth of the cosmos? You can have a Big Bang theory, but that's just a theory based on speculation. Because nobody has seen how the universe came about. And nobody can even see it. Therefore, if there is a Veda which tells me what is the truth of the whole universe, I at least need to look into it. And the Veda is a means of knowledge which informs us of what cannot be known by our senses or by the inferences based on these senses. And that means of knowledge, Veda, has something to tell me about me. It tells me you are okay as you are. It tells me there is nothing you need to do to be okay if you are informed well enough. But I need to understand that. And that understanding, gaining that understanding that I don't need to do anything to be comfortable in life, is a wisdom that the Veda has to offer. And gaining that wisdom will mean this life is successful all the way, because everything in my life is only intended to make me feel comfortable, make me happy, make me just relax. Everything in life is only so I can relax. And I struggle to get a moment of relaxation when I could be relaxed all the way. If I could be relaxed all the way, not when I'm not working. If relaxation is only when I'm not working, then 90% of the life I'm struggling for 10% pleasure. That is where this work-life balance comes into life. That we think without work there is no life, without leisure there is no work. Both feed each other. That's not the reality. Because a person who has no income, no roof over the head is also happy. That's called a sadhu. A sky over for the roof, and he is comfortable being himself. No. Personally, I've seen this sometime in life when there was a poor person who was on the street. Going to work, you would see him lying on the roadside, in a park sometimes. And he would have newspapers to cover himself and plastic sheets, and he would have a bunch of grocery bags around him. It was a little chill, and we would walk through that park every day. It was overseas. And my empathy got me, and I just said, I took out whatever money I had, some $500 or something, and gave it to him and said, get yourself something good. Get a bed sheet, do something, be comfortable. What amazed me, he just took the money and put it back in my hand and smiled and said in clean English, this is in China, smiled and said, I don't need this, thank you. He was smiling. And every day you walk through that place, you would see him smiling. Wearing tatters. Having only these bags for his belonging. The park is his place to rest every night, but he is happy. We are supposed to be people who are educated. We have a good job in a multinational corporation, and you have traveled on work from India to overseas. You are a successful person, and this fellow puts your success to shame. He just smiles. And he's happy being what he is. And we are worried whether we'll get the next promotion or not. Where's our next posting going to be? What's the next project going to be? We work 8 to 8, and we come back waiting to get some relaxation. We want some leisure. That fellow had inner leisure. Or he was crazy, okay? Doesn't matter which way. But all I'm saying is there is much more to life than what we think there is. So to be informed, to know what life is about, makes me a person empowered to make right choices in life. So we'll look into it tomorrow. We'll meet 6 o'clock. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।